Oh my God, it's Dr. Demento!
Paul Schaefer and the band, ladies and gentlemen. Well, once again, it's time for that segment of the show we here at Late Night like to refer to as Stupid Pet Tricks. And not a minute too soon, I might add. Have you noticed, Paul, that our audience reaction to this portion of our program has been waning of late, much like the moon? Why do you think that is, Paul?
Well, you know, David, I think it's you. It's that attitude thing.
I suppose so. By the way, Paul, who's that playing guitar tonight in the band?
I don't know, David. Should I ask him?
No, don't bother, Paul. Well, enough time wasted chit-chatting with the musicians. On to Stupid Pet Tricks. And our first victim tonight is, Mr. Henry Wigglesworth and Chip. Right this way, Henry.
Thank you, Mr. Letterman.
And this would be Chip, no doubt.
Yes, sir. Chip is my dog.
Well, I'm glad we cleared that up, Henry. Okay, now what is it that Chip is going to do for us tonight, Henry?
Chip is going to expel gas, Mr. Letterman.
Oh, boy. We're having some fun tonight. I certainly do hope that you and Chip have an alternate trick planned, perhaps.
Yes, sir. Chip can also vomit on command.
No.
Or he could urinate on furniture.
No, he can't, Henry. I'm sorry. Thank you so much, Henry Wigglesworth and Chip.
How about humping your leg?
I have a professional staff and crew here if I need that done. Henry, thank you, and goodbye. All right, Henry Wigglesworth, ladies and gentlemen.
What is that dog doing on the organ?
Well, this is what happens, ladies and gentlemen, when you let non-union amateur performers on television. Let that be a lesson to all of you. Thank you, Paul. That seems to be our show for this evening, ladies and gentlemen. And let me just say that although we've been on the air for 3 historic years, never have we had more fun than we're having here tonight. My, oh my, oh my. Yes, we're having some fun now. My, oh my. We're having some fun now. My, oh my. We're having more fun now than humans should be allowed. We're having some fun now, my, oh my. Phone the neighbors, wake the kids.
Phone the neighbors, wake the kids.
My, oh my.
Phone the neighbors, wake the kids.
My, oh my. In the studio, use the monitors. At home, use your TV.
Phone the neighbors, wake the kids, my oh my.
Join us tomorrow night, ladies and gentlemen, when we'll have Fran Lebowitz, Pee Wee Herman, and Merle Haggard. Also, we'll be embarrassing either someone who doesn't speak English very well or someone with a low-paying, menial occupation. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, everybody sing.
We are having some fun now, my oh my. We are having some fun now, my oh my.
We're having more fun now than humans should be allowed. Yes, we're having some fun now, my oh my.
was the dippiest gig we ever did, Rock.
Yeah, but we had to do it.
How's come?
Well, we're always the good guys, right?
Yeah.
We always do things for people who really need help.
Yeah, but
Does anybody need more help than Joe Piscopo?
gee, this is like a small version of We Are the World.
Right.
June Foray and Bill Scott, the original voices of Rocky and Bullwinkle, and Joe Piscopo with his homage to David Letterman late night on the Dr. Demento Show. That's actually a couple of excerpts from an 11-minute sketch based on the Letterman Show. It's from Joe Piscopo's new album, New Jersey. If I may change the subject and wax nostalgic about summer camp, I went to 3 different summer camps at various times in my boyhood days. They had one thing in common. Each one had an old-time wind-up phonograph, one of the big floor models that someone had donated from their attic. At Camp Mohagomi in northern Minnesota, there was one record that all the kids loved. All the kids loved to sing the wordless little chorus that comes up in this record 2 or 3 times. It's actually a song about a Maharaja in India or someplace who tried to learn to dance the rumba. Vaughn Monroe and his band with Ziggy Talent doing the comedy vocal on the Maharaja of Magador.
There's a rich Maharaja of Magador who had 10,000 camels and maybe more. He had rubies and pearls and the loveliest girls, but he didn't know how to do the rumba. He could afford a big reward, so to his people one day he said, which means take my rupees and take my pearls, take my camels and take my girls. Rumba lessons I wanted for the rich Maharaja of Magador. So a slick little chick answered, that's for me, to the ad he had placed in Variety. When she saw his expense, she could tell at a glance that he'd never learn how to do the rumba. He had his wealth, he had his health, so he looked in her eyes and said, take my rubies and take my pearls, take my camels, I'll keep my girls. From now on you'll be working for the rich Maharaja of Magador. He was anxious to learn, so she taught him right. But she taught him the thrill of a moonlight night. He discovered the bliss of a half-promised kiss, but he never learned how to do the rumba. And on the day she went away, you could hear all the people say, she took his rubies and took his pearls, took his camels and all his girls, took his money and what is more, she made the rich Maharaja the poor Maharaja of Magador.
The Maharaja of Mogador. Ziggy Talent singing with Vaughn Monroe and his orchestra. That was a good-sized hit in the year 1948. You heard it on the Dr. Demento show, and how I used to try to sing along with that. And On Top of Spaghetti and John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt and all those other songs that campers used to sing. I never learned to sing too good, though, as you well know if you've ever heard me sing Shaving Cream on the show. But I'm not the only guy who can't sing. Here's a rather modern song about another guy who can't sing.
I was born with a lousy voice. I didn't want it this way, but I got no choice. If you're around when I vocalize, just plug your ears and close your eyes. Well, I practice hard, but it's no use. I sound just like a dying moose. Everyone throws things at me cause I find it hard to stay on key. Key. Forget it. Lessons were a curse. I didn't get better, I got worse. Shower singing was a flop, cause when I did, the water stopped. So whenever you hear an obnoxious sound, best bet is, I'm around. Ella Fitzgerald doesn't think I'm real. She cracks glass, I crack steel.
I Can't Sing, an unreleased tape from Barry and the Bookbinders on the Dr. Demento show.
Why does Juul's flavor last longer than other sugarless gums?
Smack dab in the middle, smack dab in the middle, smack dab in the middle of the gum gum is the secret to Juul's long-lasting fun. A delicious sense of feeling where others have done. Smack dab in the middle of the gum. Smack dab in the middle.
Juul's with a delicious scent of filling that has longer-lasting flavor. Flavor that's been missing in your sugarless gum.
Smack dab in the middle of the gum gum is the secret to Juul's long-lasting fun.
We're going to hear from a whole bunch more people who can't sing as the Dr. Demento show continues with some of the world's worst records on the Westwood One radio network.
Dr. Demento.
I'm often asked to play some of the worst records in my collection. Of course, some people say all the records that I play are bad. To some people, the worst record would be every record of some type of music they don't like, whether it's heavy metal, punk, country and western, flamenco, rags, ragas, or reggaes, any kind of music. There'd be somebody who doesn't like it. Actually, as I've often said, the only really bad records are boring records, and I promise never to play any of those, at least not all the way through. But I do have a lot of bad records in my collection. I'll start by flipping through a few by people whose genuine talent lay elsewhere, but somehow they were convinced to try their luck on phonograph records, like movie star Joan Crawford, Mommy Dearest. Sing it, Mommy.
The stars that shine above this night of ecstasy, They say it's as old as the hills, but it's all so new to me.
Rudolph Valentino. Or how about something more modern? Scott Baio.
You've got such a pretty face. Heaven took its time on you. And you've got such a easy way.
Well, actually, I guess he's about as good as Fabian. You'd be surprised how many famous athletes have made infamous records. Here's basketball legend Wilt Chamberlain.
That's easy to say, but I'm gonna do it. So hard to do. Oh, yeah. Gonna quit my loafing, gonna get a job. Work hard at it too. That's easy to say, but I'm gonna do it.
Turning to baseball, here's Mr. Cub, Ernie Banks.
I can feel those good vibrations as those fellas shout and call, and I know they're rooting for me. When I see that ball flying over the wall, I can feel just how it's gotta be.
And a present-day star of the Cubbies, third baseman Ron Say.
Regarding the third baseline, my job ain't first, but it ain't far behind. Every now and then I make a good tag, playing the third base bag.
Well, as a singer, Ron's a great ball player. There are those whose wealth and social standing enable them to have recording careers that otherwise clearly would have never happened, such as the late and actually much beloved classical singer Florence Foster Jenkins, whose records are still available 40 years after her death. Florence Foster Jenkins on the Dr. Demento Show. Rhino Records recently put out an album called The World's Worst Records. Actually, in my opinion, some of these are among the world's best records, like The Crusher or I Want My Baby Back. But the album does include one singer who clearly takes after the Florence Foster Jenkins tradition, though in a more pop style. We've had several requests for this one, so you know what? I think we'll let it roll all the way through. For dog lovers everywhere, here's Gloria Balsam and Fluffy.
Here, Fluffy, where are you? Where are you? First time I saw Fluffy was a cold December night, shivering in the darkness by the roadside. A lost and lonesome puppy that couldn't really walk but tried.
Gloria Balsam, and Fluffy from the World's Worst Records album on the Dr. Demento Show. Rhino's about to release a second volume of the World's Worst Records, but here's one I don't think they've got. For pure embarrassment on vinyl, this one would be pretty hard to beat. A little surf music, please. Yes, this is surf music. Here come the lyrics.
Now this old wave is mighty high, pushing me into the sky. I'm gonna ride it by and by. As I come down, you can hear me cry. I'm a surfing.
Okay, Engineer Chris, let's have mercy on him. I think that's enough. Okay, gong. I'm Surfing by George W. Husak. Now, anybody can record music like that on a cassette, but it takes a rare and special talent to actually put it out for sale on a phonograph record. But when I'm contemplating the very worst records of all time, there's one that I somehow always come back to. This was found in a thrift shop in Pasadena, California about 10 years ago by a fellow named Ron Burns, who gave it to me, thus earning my eternal gratitude. Now, this is not a cassette, but a real 45 RPM record. In fact, it even has the artist's picture on the label. The singer's name is Roy Esser, and he clearly belongs in the Grammy Hall of Fame for this 1 minute and 35 seconds of pure awfulness.
I ain't got any money, mister. I just don't know what to do. For just a few helping dollars, can I put my teeth to you? I want to get something to eat, pay my rent, that's past due. Please, oh please, will you help me? Let me put my teeth to you. You know for sure I'll pay you back. I'll sneeze the tears I want again. With them left out of my mouth, I'm afraid to grin. When I go to kiss my gal, she grabs me round the collar. With my teeth out of my mouth, my kisses a pretty holler. You know for sure I'll pay you back, 'cause my teeth I want again. With them left out of my mouth, I'm afraid to grin. I ain't got a watch or ring or anything else of value. That's why I'm asking, mister, can I pawn my teeth to you? Can I pawn my teeth to you?
Well, I haven't heard Mellotron like that since the last Moody Blues concert, and as for the vocal, as for the lyrics, well, that could bring gums back in fashion again. That could do for Toothless Gums what Michael Jackson's Thriller did for Nose Jobs.
We asked people who swore they didn't like sugarless gum to try our gum. They didn't know it was Trident.
I really like the taste. It's got a really good, long-lasting flavor.
Then we told them it was Trident.
You're kidding. It doesn't taste like a sugarless gum.
And 4 out of 5 dentists surveyed recommend sugarless gum for their patients who chew gum.
Trident is fantastic. The flavor lasts a long time, it tastes great, and it won't harm your teeth.
Shouldn't you try Trident?
Taste the one that'll win you over to sugarless gum.
Well, you've heard some of the worst. Now comes some of the best. The Dr. Demento Funny 5.